0.09 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, ignition sequence started. All engines are started. We have ignition. 2, 1, 0. We have a liftoff. We have a liftoff, and it's lighting up the area. It's just like daylight here at Kennedy Space Center as the Saturn V is moving off the pad. It has now cleared the tower.
Roger, 1 Bravo, we're going 1 minute.
Houston, you are go for orbit. Go for orbit.
Those are kind words, Robert. We're go for orbit here.
After checking out the spacecraft in Earth orbit, they burned out of orbit and headed toward the moon.
Houston, we're right in the middle of a snowstorm.
Ron Evans, at the controls of the Command Module America, moved in to dock with the lunar module Challenger. They pulled Challenger free of the booster's third stage, then continued the 3-day coast to the moon.
GNS, ATM, ECHO.
Even as Cernan, Evans, and Schmidt headed toward the moon, directly below the Apollo 17 control room, Flight Director Don Putty ran his crew through a launch simulation for the first Skylab. December 10, 1972. America and Challenger went into orbit around the moon.
Houston, this is America. You can breathe easier. America has arrived on station for the Challenger head.
The next day, December 11th, Cernan and Schmidt entered the lunar module and undocked.
You look just as pretty in Earth light as you do in sunlight. Roger, America. Have a good burn. You're loud and clear. We're level with the top of the Mesquite now.
Roger.
Okay, 1511510 entered. Okay, check pitch over here.
Go at
4. Okay. 4 on pitch over. Okay, Porter, we're out of 11,000 at 9. Okay, stand by for pitch over. Oh, are we coming in? Oh, baby. Okay, through 9,000. Stand by for pitch over, Jack. 8,000. I'll need the pro. I'll give it to you. There it is. Proceeded. And there it is, Houston. There's Camelot. Wide on target. I see it. We got them all. 42 degrees, 37 degrees, to 5,500. 38 degrees.
Challenger, you'll go for landing.
42 degrees through 4,000. 47 now. 47 degrees through 3,500. 49 degrees. 3,000 feet. 53 degrees. Okay, I've got Marhay, I've got Poppy, I've got the triangle. That's 2,500 feet, 52 degrees. H-dot is good at 2,000. H-dot is good. Fuel is good. 1,500 feet. 54 degrees, Gene. Approaching 1,000. Approaching 1,000 feet, 57 degrees. Okay, you're through 1,000. I'm taking radar altitude and pings altitude degree. You're through 800 feet. H-dot's a little high. See, I don't need the numbers anymore. Okay, you're 31 feet per second going down through 500. 25 feet per second through 400. That's a little high, Gino. Okay. 300 feet. 15 feet per second. Little high. H-dot's a little high. Okay, I've got T66. Okay. Okay, 9 feet per second down at 200. Going down at 5. Going down at 5. Going down at 10. Cut the H-dot. It feels good. 110 feet. Stand by for some dust. Little forward, G. Little forward a little. 90 feet. Little forward velocity. 80 feet. Going down at 3. Getting a little dust. You're at 60 feet. Going down about 2. Very little dust. Very little dust. 40 feet. Going down at 3. Stand by for touchdown. Stand by. 25 feet. Down at 2. Feels good. 20 feet. Going down at 2. 10 feet. 10 feet. Contact. Stop, push. Engine stop. Engine arm. Proceed. Command override off. Boat control ahead. Hold. Pings auto. Okay, Houston, the Challenger has landed.
December 11th. Cernan, then Schmidt, left the lunar module to begin their first EVA.
As I step off at the surface at Taurus Littrow, we'd like to dedicate the first steps of Apollo 17 to all those who made it possible.
Their first job was to unload equipment, including their rover, the electric car in which they would drive to the exploration sites.
That's beautiful. This has got to be one of the most proud moments of my life, I guarantee you.
We thank you very much.
As Cernan drove the equipment-laden rover, Schmidt carried the scientific experiments package called ALSEP.
Hey, do you need me, Gene? Nope. I'm going to go deploy an ALSEP. Have at it.
In Houston, scientists in the science support room watched, correlating and directing their movements.
Okay, Bob, I've got my tools of the trade right here.
As Schmidt set up the various experiments, Cernan drilled a series of holes, both to collect core samples and to implant experimental probes.
Oh, we're out in the ejecta blanket of Camelot for sure now.
Yeah.
Man, it didn't feel like this stuff was that hard. No, I'll get it. I knew there was something I needed to get the jack in over here, other side. Let me put some weight here.
Nothing's going anywhere.
Oh, he's going slowly, Bill. Very slowly.
I'm gonna get this thing out now that I got it.
Boys, you know, that's what you call getting down into your work.
29 and a half. Yeah, it's 29 and a half minutes from now, but remember, they left this side a little bit late.
There it is. Okay.
Jim, you better make it clear to Parker that we got to pull out.
On the moon and on the Earth, they were fighting time now. There are just so many hours of oxygen and water in the backpacks. So many hours of life in the vacuum of the moon.
We're up in this area.
There you go. Watch that cable. Cable. Oh! Cable.
Watch the cable. Cable number 1.
Let's see if I can't crack the corner and get that contact. See if I can't get her.
Look at the boulders out there. Jesus.
It was time to head back to the Challenger, activate experiments, and get back inside.
Man. I was strolling on the moon one day in a merry, merry month of December. Now, May's the month. May, that's right. May is the year of the month. Oh, what a nice day. Oh, funny, there's not a cloud in the sky, except in the earth. Think that'll stop the dust, that one?
They would have one task before they got to work exploring. The previous day, they had broken a rear fender of the rover. The dust thrown up was causing trouble. Apollo 16 commander John Young had worked that night in a pressure suit on a way to fix the fender.
Oh, okay.
On the moon, the astronauts put it together. The fender section formed from a lunar map, molded with tape, then held in place with clamps from the Lunar Module Telescope. It was a repair that would last the remainder of the mission.
No, that's good. Get it in the middle here. Get it in that place. Right in this little, it's only about a 4-meter depression. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you're on the other side of the rock. Okay. Yeah, I want to get back here. That's good. Oh, man, go slow.
Flight at Station 1 still looks like a 45-minute stop to me.
Well, we'll check on that. I don't think it is, though.
Well, it looks that way that line crosses there, it should be right at 45 minutes.
Well, that doesn't
experiments.
reflect being half an hour behind, I don't think.
Yeah, you got to take a half hour out of the front part of that stop for that much behind, whatever you're behind.
Bob, all these big boulders around here that I've looked at are the same rock type. Ooh, who pulled over the geophone module? Can't imagine. Okay. That sounds like the title of a book.
Flight EVA.
Go ahead.
Okay, we have verified that the trainer does have a decal on the lean. We are checking for the direct correlation to the rose.
Uh-oh. There it went. What happened? Oh, I lost my vice. I see it. I see it. I took number 1 in the right direction.
Flight experiments.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're thinking one of the alternates here, or one of the possibilities here,
number 4 will be a little
spending
harder to
such
pick
little
up.
time out
Well,
there,
these
it's not
little
really
craters
worth
are filled
spending
with
the time
glass.
driving out and back.
Come on back
Then
here.
we might spend the time back here closer
I gotta
into the
take this
limb
thing over the
before
lunar
the set
surface.
completely. But that's
seen
not
glass
firm yet.
covers.
We're thinking that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Give us
about that good.
plenty of lead
Yeah.
time to implement that.
Yeah, we'll try to do that.
Flight Surgeon.
Go ahead, Surgeon.
Roger. BTU update for the first 3 hours was Commander 1185, LMP 1130. For the first 15 minutes of the third hour, we have 1,000 on the Commander.
That same, Bob.
100 on the LMP. So we're
Is that
All
1100
these
on the
big
last?
blocks that I've looked at
right.
Okay.
look like the Jabronic rock I was talking about. Possibly upwards of 50% plagioclase rather than 30 like the Mare. Put an intermediate gabbro of some kind. And one big block there had very sharply defined parallel parting planes. I think there's a foliation of minerals that parallel that parting, but I'll have to check it out.
Okay, copy that, Zach.
Those parting planes go over the will go through the whole boulder on the order of at least 3 meters long and outcrop.
Apollo science will continue, and I'm sure might say the mysteries will continue to come out for many years to come.
But of this I'm sure. Man has learned that space is his to explore. And man will return to space to explore, to the moon and beyond.
I'm firmly convinced that it's changed the whole basis of philosophy, including religion. I don't think that we've begun to see what the era of spaceflight really is. We've got a long way to go, and I hope I'm living when we leave this solar system on a venture to find another planet Earth.
You know, Jack, when we finish with Station 8, we will have covered this whole valley from corner to corner. That was the idea.
Once more it was time. Gene Cernan and Jack Schmitt returned to the rover to drive back to Challenger. But before they left the surface of the moon, there would be a brief ceremony.
It's a rock composed of many fragments of many sizes and many shapes. When we return this rock, or some of the others like it, to Houston, we'd like to share a piece of this rock with so many of the countries throughout the world.
Everyone remembers Neil Armstrong's first steps on the moon and the words he spoke. Few remember the final speeches just 3.5 years later. The task of summing up the Apollo program fell to Gene Cernan as he stood on the surface of Earth's nearest neighbor.
This is Gene, and I'm on the surface. And as I take man's last step from the surface back home for some time to come, but we believe not too long into the future, I'd like to just let what I believe history will record, that America's challenge of today has forged man's destiny of tomorrow. And as we leave the moon in Taurus Littrow, we leave as we came, and God willing, as we shall return, with peace and in hope for all mankind. Godspeed the crew of Apollo 17.
Roger, Dino. Thank you very much.
Bob, I am up on the ladder, and I'm going to be going through the hatch.
Go ahead and go. Okay, I'm fixing to turn the camera off. All right.
Dean, I got to get out of your way. Yep. Here I come.
Come on in.
Hatch look good to you?
Well, it's dirty.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep her down. Buttons. Come towards me. Well, there you go. Okay, you got it.
Okay, I'm in the hatch.
Okay.
Flight EVA.
Let me look at that.
One last comment as I look at the last picture, I presume
The last time we want him.
that bringing up against the strut is not going to interfere with
Same way, yeah.
with ASN in any way.
I can see down there.
Yep.
I can see it. It'll look good to you. It's clear.
Okay.
There's a little bit of dust, but it's all on the, I don't think the field. There you go.
One. Ignition. We're on our way, Houston.